Bangkok isn't just a city of temples and traffic. Hidden amongst the new skyscrapers and shopping malls are quiet survivors of another era. Hotels that were home to GIs on R&R from the Vietnam War, and then to backpackers that were part of a city on the rise. In this video, we revisit 6 historic hotels. Hotels that are still open today, but in some cases go back over 60 years. I'm here on Sukhumvit Soi 13 at the Miami Hotel, and I stayed here before COVID many times, but since then it's been totally refurbished. It actually opened first in 1965, and the name Miami Hotel was actually inspired by Miss Universe. Over the decades, there's been hundreds of photo shoots here because it's a beautiful Art Deco style hotel. And it's even inspired a BBC and Netflix series, if you remember The Serpent. Some of that was filmed in reception. One of the reasons why this hotel was so popular with American soldiers is Sukhumvit Soi 13 is not only close to the embassies, but also close to the budding nightlife at the time, and very close to the visa centre that used to be on this very street. It's only about 20 metres from Nana BTS station. So they don't have a gymnasium here, they don't have a restaurant here anymore, but they do have this fantastic swimming pool. The restaurant actually was open last time I stayed here, but they sold it to 7-Eleven next door, so I have to make do with a ham cheese toastie and a coffee for breakfast this morning. But never mind the rest of the main things of the hotel, they've restored beautifully, and you still get that flavour of the 1960s with all the modern amenities of 2025. So this hotel opened in 1965 and it's called the Miami Hotel, partly because they were attracting GIs, American soldiers, and it's familiar to them, including the neon sign that looks pretty American as well. Also in 1965, a Pasara Hong Sakul was the Thailand entry to Miss Universe, and she won it, guess where? Yes, in Miami Beach, and that's why part of the logo is like a beauty queen's crown. So this is a signature room in the Miami Hotel, and it's a big room actually. It's 50 meters squared or 538 square feet. Non-smoking room, and I think that's either a queen size bed or possibly a king size bed. All of the decor is really quite tasteful. Harks back to the 1960s, but with a modern twist to it. Very clean and certainly a high quality. I paid 2,400 baht for this room. I came here around Songkran time in April 2025. That doesn't include breakfast, it's just for the room only. If you are travelling here by car, there is a car park on site. There's an in-room safe. There's a place where you can do makeup. There's not really a closet apart from 3 hangers on the wall. There's a lovely bureau if you want to do some writing, and also there is a large fridge. Nothing in the fridge apart from the complimentary water that they give you. There's a flat screen TV. You can mirror your mobile phone onto there. There's a sofa and an easy chair and an occasional table. Looking out at the view, you can see down to the swimming pool and then into the bathroom. Again, it's kind of industrial style, 1960s, maybe 1970s. It's worth noting that the wash basin is not actually in the bathroom, it's out in the bedroom. The shower is nice and strong and even temperature. Of course, some shower gel and some shampoo. All in all, the lighting, the atmosphere, the style, it's a beautiful room if you book the signature room. So this hotel is a great slice of history in the centre of Bangkok. Is it somewhere that you would stay at in 2025? It's the 60th anniversary of this hotel, which was first opened in 1965. The Malaysia Hotel was opened in December 1967. It's got a fascinating history. It was one of those hotels that was frequented by American GIs on R&R from the Vietnam War. After they left, it became the first backpackers hotel in Bangkok. Later in life, it was used to film part of Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams, and it also inspired a French punk rock band to make a song about Malaysia Hotel. And it was also the very first hotel that was featured in #1 edition of Lonely Planet. And it's still open today, and you can get a room with your very own slice of history for less than 1,000 Thai baht a night. It was a 120-room hotel over 6 floors, and it became very popular amongst American GIs at the time of the Vietnam War, partially because it's quite close to the American Embassy, but it's also close to Lumpini Park, and it's also very close to Pat Pong Market and the nightlife there, which was probably very popular with the GIs. Other things that this hotel was famous for. Well, the very first Lonely Planet guide, the authors of that, their first book was called Across Asia on the Cheap. And that was the forerunner of all the Lonely Planet guides that are still going so strongly today. And they featured the Malaysia Hotel in it. So really it's the first featured hotel of all of the Lonely Planet guides in the world. Another thing that not many people know is that they converted one of the rooms on the 2nd floor into the film set for Good Morning Vietnam. And that scene where Robin Williams goes, "Good morning Vietnam!" was actually recorded in this very hotel. Now you might think that the name Malaysia Hotel just comes from the country of Malaysia, but the real story is that the family that owned it, they're now on the 3rd generation, had the name Ma in their name, which actually means horse in Thailand, and they just thought that sounded like Malaysia, kind of play on words, and that's where the name of this hotel came from. Now, if you'd come here with the GIs about 50-something years ago, you'd have been charged 120 Thai baht for one night here. But after the Americans pulled out of Vietnam, they didn't have the demand here, so they reduced the room rate down to just 60 Thai baht per night. Now I'm staying here in 2025, it's still less than 1,000 Thai baht, so it's still a cheap place to stay. And there was even a song named after this hotel in 1983, a French punk band, I'd never heard of them, but they had a song where the question was, why do you stay at the Malaysia Hotel? And I guess today the answer is, it's a slice of history that's fast fading away from Bangkok. The notice board in reception was quite legendary. There used to be advice on there, tips on immigration, things about the local tuk-tuk drivers or the local transport. It's not used for that anymore, but it is used for a different purpose, which is to honour those people who have kept on coming back to this hotel every year for 20 years or more. Their photos are on there to be immortalised forevermore. The Malay restaurant is open for 24 hours. Imagine how many people have eaten there, including me having my breakfast there this morning at 135 baht for an American breakfast, including bread, including fruit and including coffee. This hotel is a fascinating place just to walk around. Let's have a look outside. Let's have a look around the room. You've got a nice double bed there, very firm, and I think a good night's sleep with 2 soft cushions or pillows on there. You've got a sofa in the corner, you've got a very nice chair and writing table. You could even write an airmail back to your friends in your country. Not sure people do that anymore, but nevertheless, some lovely postcards available. You've got 3 bottles of water. What's in the fridge? Nothing actually in the fridge apart from one of those bottles. You've got a kettle and some small cups and saucers. I couldn't find any coffee or tea, but anyway, I'm sure if you asked they would give it to you. You've got plugs and switches next to the bed. You've also got a flat screen TV. Every room has its own router for Wi-Fi, and I'll put the speeds of the Wi-Fi on screen now. Air conditioning is old style. You can just get a small hum from the air conditioning. Works fine. In fact, it's pretty damn cold, to be honest with you.
Damn hot, real hot.
Over in the closet or the wardrobe, there's no in-room safe in these places. There are safety deposit boxes behind reception, but not actually in the room. There are 2 nice bathrobes though, and then if you go into the bathroom, I think some of the original rooms had a bathtub. This one has got a walk-in shower. The temperature on the shower is a little bit up and down, to be honest, and there is a slight aroma coming out of the drains, but it's all authentic, so maybe you have to put up with that. And then you've got a fire escape outside. One thing about the fire escapes here actually, or the fire doors to be particular, is they were apparently funded by the American Army because they wanted secure fire doors to protect their troops in the event of a fire, so they paid for those. And just outside the room you can see that I can open the window here. There's no balcony. And these things outside were actually added, I think, around the 50th anniversary of the hotel to make it look a bit more modern. They're gold from the outside when you look in. Other than that, just a view down to the road. Some people have said in reviews it can get a little bit noisy inside. This room is on the 6th floor, and as a top tip, the higher floors tend to be that little bit quieter. But should you stay in 2025? Well, it's never going to be the most modern of hotels, even though it's had renovations since it was built. But it is something that takes you back in time and makes you feel part of that shared history of Bangkok. If that's something that's interesting to you, why not give this place a try? It's so different from the modern day hotels. It will give you that extra variety. And I found it a really interesting place to stay for a night or 2. Welcome to the Florida Hotel in the centre of Bangkok, and a truly historical hotel that first opened its doors way back in 1968. Initially it was a favourite with American and Australian GIs on R&R from the Vietnam War, but after they left it was also popular with backpackers and budget travellers. But whilst a lot of its iconic rivals in Bangkok have since turned into faceless hotels or modern condominiums or just been demolished, this hotel is still going strong in 2025, and I'm going to find out exactly why. So one of the most obvious examples of why it's lasted so long is its location. It's right on Pattaya Road, which is quite noisy, but also it's next to the airport link and to the SkyTrain BTS station. So why was this hotel so popular with the GIs on R&R? Well, first of all, I should say why Bangkok was so popular. And the reason for that is because they could only choose from a handful of countries where to take their rest and recuperation. They could go to Taiwan, they could go to Australia, they could go to Hawaii, they could go to Japan. But Bangkok was seen as a close and safe place to go, and therefore Bangkok was one of the top destinations for GIs on their 5 days R&R that they tended to get every 12 or 13 months. So the troops choosing to come to Bangkok was one thing, but how did they end up at the Florida Hotel? Well, of course, you didn't have the internet in those days. They weren't in a position to look for all the brochures. what used to happen is they used to come to Don Mueang Airport, and then they used to be taken to a big room where all the soldiers were, and that's when they got to be allocated to a particular hotel. Now the officers got first choice, and then after that they went through the surnames of the remaining troops in alphabetical order. When it was your turn, you went up to the board, and whatever was left on the board, that's what you chose, and that's where you were going to go. In terms of the Florida Hotel, well, American GIs found names like Miami, like Florida, like Liberty, like Rex hotels, familiar names from back home, and they were some of the most popular choices amongst the GIs. The other thing that was important for you to get chosen for those troops to visit was, well, there was a tour operator who was an ex-Thai military man, and he made sure that all of the hotels on the list had 4 things in common. Number 1, they had to be $5 a night or less. Number 2, they had to have 24-hour room service. Number 3, they had to have a swimming pool. And number 4, they had to be guest friendly. Now, I'm not going to give too many details, of course, about being guest friendly, but it was said that as well as going on R&R, the troops referred to a trip to Bangkok as being I and I. And the first I think it stood for intoxication. And the second one was, well, if you know it, leave me in the comments section below, but it was something to do with the hotel being guest friendly. Those were the things that you could get quite cheaply, because especially the enlisted troops, they didn't have an unlimited amount of funds to spend, and in Bangkok they could get cheap beer and cheap entertainment. Now, of course, not everyone was coming just for the nighttime entertainment. There was also the shopping, and this is very close to Pratunam Market, where you could get clothes and fashion, even way back then. And it was another thing in favour of staying at this hotel. So even in 2025, this hotel still has some of the original features. It's got some terrazzo floors in there. It's got some of the original metal windows. It's got an iron staircase going from the swimming pool. The swimming pool is original as well. And I've chosen a room that hasn't really been updated too much. They do have modern rooms, but I'm going for the old style. Come inside and look. This room has actually got 2 single beds. They do rooms that have got double or king size beds. They've got like parquet wood flooring, if you can see, and I think that is possibly original. And a lot of the other decor looks like it's been around, if not since 1968, then certainly for a good while. I think they're probably original. They've added some touches, like all the rooms have got a flat screen TV, quite small for the size of the room. The room's about 20 square metres. You've got a small fridge. What's in the fridge? I don't think it's even switched on, to be honest. But you have got 2 bottles of complimentary water. Then going into the bathroom, it really is a throwback type of bathroom. You've got a small mirror there. You've got a shower cap, you've got some soap, some shampoo, and some plastic glasses. There is your sink there, toilet and bum gun. And then it's not a walk-in shower, it's like something out of Psycho. You've got a shower, and it kind of looks like it works. So continuing the American theme, here is the Tampa Restaurant, another American name to entice the GIs to come in, and also the choice of menu would have done the same thing, because 2 of the signature dishes are the barbecue pork spare ribs and also the onion soup. So I've ordered both of those to give them a go, and the whole setup with the booths and the layout is kind of reminiscent of an American restaurant. This restaurant also was the film set for a small part of a Thai rom-com movie in 2015, which in Thai was known as Freelance. You'll also see it marketed with English subtitles as Heart Attack, and it's a story about a guy who gets sick and goes to see a female doctor, and kind of falls in love with her, and that is a whole 2-hour movie based around that. And they're seen chatting at this very table in this very restaurant. So good morning from the Florida Hotel. It's absolutely a beautiful day today. Now I should say that you don't get breakfast included in the price of the room if you book online like I did. It's about 200 baht for their set breakfast, but I heard yesterday it includes Nescafe. Now you know I must start the day with a decent cup of coffee. And there's an absolutely fantastic coffee shop within 60 meters of here. There's queues all day, it's so good. So I want to find out what all the hype's about. Let's go and have a look. So if you don't want the Nescafe at the hotel, then why not just walk 60 meters to one of the most amazing coffee shops that I've ever seen since I've been in Thailand, if I've been honest. Wednesday at 9:43 in the morning, and this place is absolutely packed. So much so that they've got a waiting line outside and they're letting people in 2 by 2, as if it's an exclusive nightclub. And what it actually is one of the top coffee shops. And I've just ordered 2 cups of standard coffee, a latte, and then 2 croissants, 500 baht. So it's not the cheapest, but it hasn't put anyone off because midweek, mid-morning, absolutely packed. And I'm hoping the coffee lives up to the hype. So the coffee's finally arrived. It wasn't a long wait actually, and let's taste it. I mean, they've got such a choice. You can actually go and smell the beans over there with a little puffer type thing. This is like the house blend. It's very delicious. And this is blueberry banana bread. I think that's what it is. So long since I ordered it, I've almost forgotten. Let's have a try for that one. Pretty good. Cheers. So is this hotel still worth staying in 2025? Well, it does still have that big advantage, which is its location. It's right here on Payatai Road, which is busy, but it runs all the way through to the shopping areas and the nightlife. I'm standing here at Payatai BTS station. You're right on the SkyTrain, and you shouldn't forget that it's right next door to the airport rail link, so you're only about 20 or 25 minutes away from Suvarnabhumi Airport. It's still a budget option that gives great value for money. The entry-level rooms are about 1,200 baht, and you've also got the fact that it's a slice of history. It's like a time capsule. If you're not looking for absolute extravagance and luxury, but you're looking for something authentic and real, then this might be a place that you would like to consider. So behind me is the Krungkasem Srikrung Hotel, which actually was built in 1972, but there's been hotels on this site way back to the 1800s. It's right next to a canal and a major road. It's also next to Hua Lompong railway station, and therefore it's really important for transport. But today, they tell me it's fully booked every night, really for 2 reasons. Still a great location and a fantastically cheap price. So the name of this hotel then, the Krungkasem Srikrung. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Well, where does that come from? Well, Krung is the name for capital or capital city in Thai. Kasem means joy, and Si means glory, so that's its full name, but you can just call it the Srikrung Hotel. It's a lot easier to say. So this canal behind me actually dates back to 1851 and the reign of King Rama IV. And the excavation started in 1851, and it's a 6 kilometre or 5.5 kilometre stretch of canal. You can walk or you can travel on the canal itself and see 1 or 2 of the forts. They're just a short distance from here. Come and have a look. And if you did want to explore the area by canal, one thing that's really great is they've got these electric solar powered canal boats, and they run hourly up and down the canal, and it's free to ride on there. We're also, of course, just opposite Hualongpong railway station, and Hualongpong railway station itself has a great history. It goes all the way back to 1916. It was Italian designed, and those beautiful curved roofs and the stained glass windows make it worth a visit today, even if you're not getting on a train. But the local trains and special excursions like steam trains and things like that still go from Hualongpong station. But if you're looking for something a bit more modern or even some entertainment, well, again, you're a very, very short walk from Soi Nana. No, not that Soi Nana. This is Soi Nana in Chinatown, and it's one of the trendiest places for drinking and eating in the whole of Bangkok. And also you're very close to shopping centres because you're 1.7 kilometres away from Icon Siam and also 1.7 kilometres away from MBK Centre. For transport in the modern world, as well as the railway station, this is right next door to Hualongpong MRT station, which is on the Blue Line. One of the things about family-run hotels is they pride themselves on good service. Some people like it so much that they've been working here like 30 or 40 years, and I was lucky to meet one of those people when I checked in on reception. Have you worked here a long time?
Yes, well, it's a 19 year, now 62.
No.
No.
Really?
Yeah, 42 years.
Do you do the same job for 42 years? Mm-hmm. The same job?
Yes, same job here.
Wow. It's not boring, no?
Yeah.
You must like your job. How has the hotel changed since you started here?
Now it's many people.
More people now?
Yes. The room full every day.
Wow. What is the same in the hotel? What didn't change?
ห้องเหมือนเดิม and
the room is the
the room
same?
same.
Oh well, thank you very much for speaking to me.
Yeah,
It's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
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 So inside the room, and not much has been done in terms of renovation, but it's still very clean. But it's old style, and you can see this room has twin beds. Actually, I booked a few days before arrival, but all of the rooms that they do have with double or king size beds had already been booked. And looking around the room, you don't have any power points next to the bed, which is a bit of a pain. Old hotels didn't really have as many power points as the modern ones. This must have been an old radio or something. And then you've also got a fan and a strip light in the room. They may have added air conditioning later. You've got a big fridge, but nothing is in the fridge. But they do give you 2 bottles of complimentary water. They've added a flat screen TV to each of the rooms. You've also got free Wi-Fi in the room, and I'll put the speeds of that on screen now. And then outside you've got a balcony. Mind your head on the way out. You could bang your head. It's a small balcony outside, and every room does have a balcony. And you can see those concrete blocks type of affair which are to shield from the sun in the morning or the afternoon. Ow! You've got a small closet with a few hangers. And then moving into the bathroom, well, you've got a shower with a shower curtain around. It works quite well. It's strong and warm. You've got a toilet and a bum gun and a wash basin. And really, that's about it. So good morning, it's day 2 and I'm going down to breakfast. Breakfast is served from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock. Now I'm not really expecting too much actually, because the difference in the price of the room with breakfast or without is 44 Thai baht, which is like 1 UK pound or $1.20, something like that. Anyway, that's for 2 people. So I don't know what we're going to get, but let's find out. So I think the surprise of this series must be this breakfast, because for an additional 44 baht, they've got a really extensive breakfast menu. I mean, okay, the house coffee is like filter coffee, which is not what I really want, but they've got some different things in here as well. I've got some focaccia bread and some French toast here. I've got some homemade yogurt and some Italian type dessert. Over there they've got cooked eggs and they've got fruit and they've got salad. They've also got 1 or 2 prepared dishes like some Thai food and some Asian food, and plenty of stuff for foreigners as well. I mean, all in all, with the different fruit juices, everything that's on offer, the different types of bread, I mean, I could go on all day. There's plenty to fill you up here. So, top tip, when you book a room, make sure it includes breakfast because there's hardly any extra. Even before the expressways and tollways were busy in this area, there used to be a hotel here. And in 1965, it was taken over by the IHG group and they built a new wing. So the striking thing about this design was 195 round windows. They looked like the portholes from a big cruise ship, and they were 2.2 meters wide, and you can actually sit inside and use them like a bay window to look out at the view.
Let's look through the round window.
So the new building had 13 residential floors. It was 65 meters long, and it was designed by a local architect whose name was Dan Wong Prasad. Sometime in the late 1980s, they demolished the original Rama Hotel and replaced it with a new wing that was called the Crown Wing. And the interesting feature of the new building was hundreds of triangular bay windows. It looks almost like a Toblerone. So this room is a King Premium City View. It's quite a decent size, it's about 36 square meters. It's a non-smoking room. I think they do have smoking rooms, and they also have accessibility friendly rooms. It's not a smart TV, but you have many channels to choose from. That is your air conditioning. Could do with a bit of a clean around there if I'm being honest. If you're here for work, they've got a desk and table. And I'll put the speed of the Wi-Fi on the screen now. You have a telephone, you have an alarm clock and a speaker, you have some nice lamps. I do like in the Holiday Inn that they offer you a soft or firm pillow to choose from, 4 pillows on the bed. You've also got an occasional table, and the floor is carpeted, and then you've got tea and coffee. Only Nescafe for coffee, slightly nicer tea. 2 glasses and yeah, big mugs. I like that. What's in the fridge? Nothing in the fridge, at least until I put one of those 4 bottles of water in there. You've got 2 pairs of disposable slippers. Oh look, a shoehorn, 2 laundry bags and a hairdryer. You've got an in-room safe, and then up here we've got a flashlight, an iron and an ironing board, 4 or 5 wooden hangers and room for your trousers or pants, plus 2 bathrobes. Moving into the bathroom, a bathtub, but as well as that we've got a walk-in shower and a good temperature and strength from the shower head, and another one up there, and even a handrail. And the original hotel was quite popular, especially with American GIs on R&R from Vietnam, because it's not that far from Patpong. It's also close to the Embassy District, and very famous in this area is for jewellery and gems. And one of the buildings next door to this hotel goes all the way back to 1960. So we can only film the outside of the building. I think for security, when I went inside, they thought I was a bank robber or a jewellery robber, but I can film on the outside and it is a beautiful building. So here you can see today's 20 metre saltwater pool, which is on the 6th floor. And on the same floor is the fitness centre, tennis court, sauna and steam rooms. So breakfast is available from 6 till 10:30. It's quite an extensive buffet style affair, and every type of food is catered for. I saw of course some Thai and Asian food, and I saw plenty that would satisfy the Westerners' taste, including different types of eggs at the egg station, crispy bacon and soft bacon. Baked beans are on the menu if you like those. Some rather sad looking sausages. But everything that you'd want. Actually, I went to the coffee machine and made some coffee, but they do serve that at the table, so I seem to have several cups of coffee. Also, I've got my scrambled egg, as you know, on its way. There's some fruit there, some vegetables, some salad. There's also one or two different things as well, such as 2 or 3 dishes for the Indian customers. All in all, not the best breakfast I've ever seen, but certainly acceptable as it's included in the price of the room. Do you think there's any ghost in the old building?
I don't believe in ghosts because I'm an angel, so.
Okay, I believe that, yeah.
Yeah, but if I have story, I will tell you.
Okay.
Some more coffee,
Oh,
second cup.
that is my second cup.
Oh, maybe third.
No. Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณค่ะ.
Khop khun
Thank
kap.
you.
This hotel was established way back in 1963, but a few years ago they renovated the whole property and changed it from the classic design to being an artistic hotel where you'll see inside 2 art galleries. First opened, there was just 2 guest houses on a sleepy soi coming off of Bangkok's Rama 1 road, and back then it was popular with American GI soldiers fighting in Vietnam, partially because it was close to the growing Siam shopping centre. Of course now you've got MBK, you've got Siam Paragon, you've got many places to go and a BTS station walking distance from here. So how about a slice of history brought up to date with a new trendy modern design? Let's see. So this hotel, like a lot of the older hotels in Bangkok, is family owned and run. And I was reading an interview with the owner in BK magazine from 4 years ago where she was speaking about the renovation, and the theme really was to make it into an artistic hub, but they have tried to keep some of the old features from the original hotel. For example, this pillar in reception and the marble floor also in reception is original, as is the original railing on the staircase. But they did also change some things. For example, they actually moved the glass partition back onto an angle to create more spaces in the rooms and take it from the balconies. Because some of the rooms here are quite small, they're only about 24 square meters. And they also added a trendy coffee shop and restaurant, which is the place that you could take breakfast. I tried it out for lunch. So let's have a look at the room and see if it's a good choice in 2025. Inside the room you have a king-size bed. Next to the bed you've got these spot lamps. As you can see inside, everything is extremely modern. A light grey colour for most of it, including the curtains, and you can see a plastic seat there. You've got a flat screen TV, quite small in size, but then again the room is not the biggest either. You've got a kettle, you've got 2 bottles of complimentary water, 2 glasses, 2 large mugs, which I do like large mugs to drink your coffee out of. Although the coffee and tea is fairly basic, you've got Nescafe. Underneath the desk there you've got an in-room safe, you've got a hairdryer, and you've got 2 pairs of slippers down there. So the question is, what's in the fridge? And this time, excuse me with the excitement, you've got 2 more bottles of water that I believe are chargeable, and at reception they said the beer is 105 Thai baht per bottle, but nice and convenient that it's cold in the fridge. You have nice strip light there, air conditioning's already getting cool and quite quiet, something where you can hang your clothes and your pants or trousers. It's that modern industrial style, a strip light again, and you've got a full-length mirror to look at yourself. Oops, a sliding door into the bathroom. Oh look, even the bum gun is kind of artistic and modern. You know how excited I get by a bum gun. Over here we've got 2 hand towels, 2 bath towels. The foot towel is down there. Moving into the shower, 1 shower head. Let's turn this on. Definitely strong, and I think it will be warm. And then Mandarin Sunset shower gel and sunrise shampoo to send you to sleep or wake you up in the morning. And really, that is about that. And one of the things that they don't change when they revamp these hotels is normally the swimming pool. And it's true here as well that this is the original rectangular swimming pool that was opened 60 years ago. Actually, there was a comment on the first video that said, do you think anyone's going to take an old hotel, make it boutique style, charge a little bit extra and make it very modern? And that's kind of what the Reno Hotel has done. They've taken a very historical hotel and completely refurbished it and modernised it, made it artistic and boutique style. And again, it's not the cheapest one in Bangkok, but it's certainly quality. Is it somewhere that would interest you? Let me know in the comments section below. But from me, outside the Reno Hotel in Bangkok, bye for now. See you next time. Bye bye.